Okay, so a few days ago, a company basically claimed that they're now going to start selling T-Rex skin purses because they've managed to de-extinct the skin particles or something. It sounds like a bunch of bull crap. Like, if we manage to bring back T-Rexes, at least their skin, and the first thing we do is make purses, then we deserve an asteroid at that point. Like, we've reached the peak of our society. Either way, though, let's go see if it's legit or not. Goji Center is going to break it down. It's disgusting, really. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to Goji Center, and let's get into it. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the future is now. Two companies, the Organoid Company and VML Lab-Grown Leather Company, have teamed up to give you the carry-on experience 66 million years in the making. Replicated from DNA preserved in collagen from Tyrannosaurus rex fossils, the new T-Rex leather handbags are hitting the shelves later this year.
I want to call this silly, but I saw a freaking ad for this a couple days ago. I thought it was just a joke, but I'm starting to think it might actually be serious. Collagen within the bones, that seems plausible.
Made by cutting-edge, trademarked technology by modifying base templates from its closest relatives.
You know what? Trademarking technology like this is exactly how you get a freaking spy into your organization. It's Jurassic Park all over again. You shouldn't be able to trademark making dinosaurs.
Grown without any need for skinning the animal. This faithful reproduction of an actual Tyrannosaurus.
Is this for real?
Oh, God.
I've never heard them laugh like that. Are they actually doing this?
Okay, all right. Time for a fact check. This totally might come as a huge surprise to all of you, but now it looks like we are 2 for 2 on paleo-themed PR stunts this year after that fiasco where Colossal made overly elaborate designer dogs and slapped the dire wolf label on them. We call them Dwinos. If they do not look like a dire and bark like a dire, we aren't calling them dires. Same thing applies here.
Damn, bro, I called them dires.
Bubbles, but those ain't Ice Age wolves brought back from the dead, and nobody is turning Rexy or Sue into a handbag.
See, I did believe the dire wolves a little bit, because I don't know, man. What do I know? But the T-Rex leather handbags was just freaking redonkulous.
What we have here is known in the world of business as a PR stunt. Something that gets investors excited and puts company names on the map. There certainly can be good motives, and the tech involved is quite impressive, but we feel the need to clarify a few things that the internet hype train inevitably is going to get wrong. This group has created what they like to call elemental leather by essentially engineering skin cells in the lab to create leather products without actually having any animals involved. It's similar to some of the lab-grown meat you might have heard about on the news.
What?
Now, the goal of the companies is making more environmentally friendly and ethical leather products by basically growing skin without the need of killing an actual animal.
Bro, we could grow skin and meat now. We're so close to just 3D printing our own animals.
Legitimately good application and cool use of the technology. If someone wants to pay thousands of dollars for a handbag, better an exotic animal kept its dignity and wasn't put down to make that happen. Honesty, however, that's the problem. What has been claimed is that they used Tyrannosaurus collagen samples to recreate parts of the genome and then edited modern animal skin cells to make T-Rex-like hide. Now, if you're still lost here with some big words, don't worry. Let us explain.
It does make sense.
Collagen is a special type of protein that is really important for many parts of our bodies, especially our skin. It helps the skin stretch and spring back like a rubber band, and helps it retain water. You can think of collagen like the framework of a building. It supports everything but doesn't help build the walls. Now, even though our bodies can make collagen, it doesn't have DNA in it. Imagine it like the stuffing inside a stuffed toy, like your Ultima plushie.
What? That's adorable.
The stuffing makes the toy soft and helps it keep its shape, but it's not what makes the shape of the toy. So trying to figure out DNA or cell composition from collagen is like trying to look at a random toy and figure out the exact factory it came from. So to go back to our T-Rex example, taking a sample of T-Rex collagen isn't really going to give you any T-Rex DNA.
The fact that there's no DNA in collagen has completely killed this entire thing for me. I would have bought a T-Rex skin wallet had I not watched this video. There's no DNA in collagen. It means nothing now.
If anything, at best, the most you might figure out are details about how flexible the skin was based on what kinds of collagen were present and evolutionary relationships. A previous study in 2007 on preserved T-Rex collagen showed that it was functionally identical to ostrich collagen, further proving our feathered friends of today are every bit as much dinosaurs as the tyrant lizard king. But the DNA? No, that's nowhere to be found here. Besides, there's actually not that much known about T-Rex skin anyways. So let's imagine for a moment that these bags actually roll out and you, being curious, had a few $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket. And now you're wondering, how do I know this is in fact identical to T-Rex skin? Well, you won't. Or it will be very hard to tell. First off, this won't be T-Rex skin, but will it at least be similar, right?
I feel like it's the equivalent of walking around with a hollowed out T-Rex nutsack, you know what I mean?
Despite Tyrannosaurus coming from some of the best studied fossil formations in the world and having dozens of specimens, more than any other big theropod in its size class, actual skin fossils are surprisingly rare. The Hell Creek Formation, where most T-Rex specimens come from, doesn't have the right kind of settlement to easily make skin fossils. We're not talking about the fine-grained, high-quality stuff that preserved fossilized feathers from various raptor or other Tyrannosaurus species like Eutyrannus. For an animal with the same surface area as a bus, almost every skin sample found was smaller than the back of your palm. Some are even smaller than a fingernail. This is why it can be surprisingly difficult to tell for sure what kind of feathering the tyrant lizard king had. It had to have some, but feathers don't preserve easily anyways, and it might have been in spaces we just don't have fossils from yet. Well, what about the scaly parts then, you may ask? Would those look like the promotional images? Maybe they're onto something and really are getting very close, right? Hell no. From the scraps of T-Rex skin we actually do have, it seems like almost any scaly portions had extremely small scales. Not the big crocodile-like plates you see on alligator leather. Typical Tyrannosaurus scales were actually about 1 millimeter wide. For visual representation, here is what one T-Rex scale looks like next to an alligator's.
That's actually insane. I feel like we need to discuss this in great detail, not talking about purses at some point, because I feel like this reveals a lot of stuff.
If you want to imagine theropod scales, think about what you see on bird feet and think less of what you saw on Jurassic World Dominion's Giga. The only real dinosaur leather made right now is this. These products are made from plucked ostrich skin and their leg scales, so actual
Ew.
T-Rex leather would probably look a lot like this. So if this venture was actually legit, why don't the representations they cooked up have something like this? Well, the fact that they used AI for the promo images.
Wow.
But being very unspecific about saying how they managed to recreate actual T-Rex skin only adds to the suspicion. Despite the name, artificial intelligence isn't really that intelligent. It can only reference material it knows and can't actually get creative, as of the creation of this video. It also has a tendency to give you answers you want to see rather than those that actually exist. In essence, it's overcomplicated autofill off a search engine. Great for some uses like number crunching, terrible at figuring certain things out. We're not trying to assume too much here, but considering both of these promotional images were AI generated, that's totally not a knockoff Rexy from Timo in the background there. And according to that visual graph, apparently pigs and sheeps are the close T-Rex relatives that they used to analyze to help rebuild the T-Rex genome.
Oh my god, what a bunch of pieces of crap. The whole thing's just lies from top to bottom. I didn't even click on the ad because I was like, they don't have T-Rex, they're not making T-Rex leather stuff. Like, be realistic here. I knew it was fake from the get-go, but I didn't realize how freaking incredibly fake it was.
Yeah,
How's
we
this
went
legal?
to more effort on the visuals for this episode than this massive company did on their promotion, and probably for a hell of a lot less. Guess we didn't find out where all those Hall of Shame entries wound up.
That's what's crazy. These people that make these AI ads for companies get paid like $100,000 a year minimum just to type in a prompt. The world's
Somebody
crazy.
in the UK and Netherlands started making handbags out of them. At the end of the day, figuring out anything at all from an extinct animal is exciting news. This one just isn't it. Imagine the groundbreaking news that would change the way we see the most famous dinosaur in history be announced by a handbag company. If this was truly some landmark discovery, revealing more info of how they achieved this would add more legitimacy to this hollow PR stunt. Instead, the AI-generated images, confusing graphics, and at several points claiming T-Rex existed 14 million years before he did, something that could have easily been fact-checked on Wikipedia, really didn't give us the best first impression.
That's insane.
Keeping everybody on the same page is important when announcing this sort of thing. That was a problem with the Dwino fiasco, with Colossal Biotech claiming multiple times the dyer was the ancestor or closest relative of the gray wolf. And when they revealed their data, it turns out that wasn't the case. But at the end of the day, guess it proves a few things about the Jurassic series that have aged remarkably well.
You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a
overpriced handbag.
and now sell it. Well,
Yeah, what a huge discredit to the whole world right there. Imagine if it was legit, like the scientists bringing forth this cutting-edge discovery just to be sold as a freaking purse to like bored moms, like middle-aged women, I'm assuming. It's just stupid that it goes to like vanity and just, I don't know, immediately to consumerism. Like that'd be the first step from this massive discovery. Would be very disappointing. I'm happy to see they're just a bunch of lying pieces of crap. How that's legal though is insane. I guess it's like international law, I don't know. But either way, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more nonsense, check out Goji Center for making this all clear to all of us, because holy crap. And I'll see you next time.